All right, welcome back. So now we're going to talk about the importance of the use of metaphor in a business pitch competition. And this may be one of the most important things up here, right? You need to have some catchy way that, like in one sentence, you can describe everything your business is doing so that the audience can remember. Because again, they may have 200 people they're judging. How do you make yours memorable? They may not remember exactly your name, where you're from, the mechanics of the business, but if they can remember, if you can give them some nice little sound bite, they're going to love it and they're going to remember you. Okay? And we talk about signifiers and signified, okay, when we talk about how to use symbols and metaphors appropriately. Signifier is what you're saying, signified is what is the meaning. Think of that TV show, The Shark Tank. Okay? Literally, a bunch of sharks can be in a tank and they're probably fighting each other. But obviously it's not a National Geographic TV show. It's a show about entrepreneurs who are metaphorically like sharks biting each other. The fact that it's really entrepreneurs and they're biting each other is the signified. It's that sense of it's tense, or there's tension, there's competition, it's dangerous, right? These are all things that are involving something that is signified. Signifier is the sharks and the tank itself, a physical tank. Signified is kind of the meaning that's associated with that. So when you have some symbols, you can think about two things that are signifiers, and the signified meaning should be greater than both of them. So let me give an example. Someone told me, hey, think about my idea is kind of like MySpace, which was before Facebook, but it's like Facebook. Think of my idea as like MySpace and YouTube having a baby. Okay, so you know that MySpace is a social networking site. You know what YouTube is video sharing, because you're watching my video now, so you probably know what YouTube is. And most people know what happens when you make a baby, like it takes components of both. So it was kind of a social networking site that made videos. Okay, that makes sense. Without knowing anything else that this person is doing, I already have a pretty good idea what we're talking about here. Okay? One person said, hey, we are like an eBay of organic food, but with an emphasis on social responsibility and respect for the environment. Okay, so we know what eBay is, right? It's an auction site. We understand what organic food is, and we understand what social responsibility is. So it's some sort of an auction site that is sustainable, maybe gives to charity, and you're buying organic food. Without knowing anything else about that pitch, you probably have a pretty good idea what's going on. Okay? One of my students told me something recently, and I loved it. She said, you know what? This is just like the Dollar Shave Club, except it's for coffee. Okay, so we know what the Dollar Shave Club is, or if you don't know what the Dollar Shave Club is, you subscribe to this service and you get razor blades so that you don't have to think about buying stuff. And she said it's for coffee. So instead of getting razor blades in the mail, I get coffee. And I kind of advised her at the time. I said, well, some people may not know Dollar Shave Club, so I said, think of it as like the Dollar Shave Club or a magazine subscription, but with a coffee. Because more people, they didn't know the Dollar Shave Club, they'll definitely know what a magazine subscription is. So you get this idea that you're getting something on a regular basis. This makes sense. One guy that's one of my students now, he said something pretty cool. He wants to do a CBD bakery, and he said his bakery brings the attitude of Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's, I can't think of the name of the TV show now, I'm pulling a blank. Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg have a TV show where they cook food together. Martha and Stewart's Potluck Dinner, I think is what it's called. I've only seen it once. But he said, my bakery is like Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's Potluck Dinner brought here to this town. Okay, so I know what that TV show is, especially if I'm in kind of the industry of maybe CBD or marijuana dispensaries. And so I kind of understand what he's doing. He's taking a TV show and that kind of tension between great quality cooked food and CBD. He's kind of blending it together. That's a cool show. It's funny, in my very biased opinion. And then he's bringing it to this town. Okay, I got that. That makes sense. I know what he's doing. Another guy that I coached, he said, hey, we're like Uber, but for auto mechanics. Again, you know what Uber is. It's a sharing economy, picking up cars. You know what an auto mechanic is. So I don't know, what is it? You punch it in the app and maybe you bring auto mechanics to you? Well, if you guessed that, you'd be exactly right. And one guy actually rapped his entire pitch, which I thought was funny. He was doing a marijuana dispensary. He rapped the entire pitch. It was brilliant. I loved it. And then, of course, make sure that your metaphors are positive. Don't do something like Airbnb for the homeless. I saw it happen. It wasn't a good pitch because people get scared with Airbnb, homeless people in your home. It's a little scary. Airbnb is already a little scary. Great. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, give me some comments. In our next video series, we're going to talk about all of these other eye contact paralinguistic codes, set you up for execution and the future of your business. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time.